Hi guys, it's RLC321. I'm back again with some more of the start to finish of the RX104 FF Gundoom, also known as the Penelope. Now what you can see here is what we're going to be using for the model for painting. I did paint before I realised I got so ahead of myself. I started painting the inner frame. Now this is supposed to be gunmetal. Now, to me, that's not gunmetal, it's too light. So, instead of gunmetal, what I've decided to paint it now is going to be this. Valio's Model Air Metallic Black. So I'm going to be using that for the inner frame. This part of the inner frame, I've decided to keep with that gunmetal because that actually looks pretty cool on there, because remember these parts are going to be showing, so I'm thinking that's going to stay there because that's fine. I quite like that colour on that. Then I've got Valio's Metallic Air Gold for obviously the gold parts. Silver is going to be for the red parts. And with the red part, the silver, that goes on first, then Tamiya's clear red. I do have metallic blue as well. It's called Arctic Blue from Valio Model Air. Painter's Touch White is an acrylic based white paint that I picked up from Homebase. It's a hardware store in the UK. It's a white matte finish. Don't know if you can see that there, white matte finish. So I'm going to be using that for the white parts, and for the second tone I'm going to be using XF83 grey, medium sea grey. I think that will give a nice contrast to all of the different parts. So they're the paints I'm going to be using, and what we're going to start on first is use the metallic black, and we're going to paint the inner frame, the arm inner frame. So I'm just shaking up the paintball. Let's see how thick it is. Now that's a much better. That's a much better paint. Oh, that's fine. That should go through the airbrush. I only need a small bit. Small bit. Right. There you go. Right, now, with metallic paint, you don't want to be too close to it, because if you go too close, you're going to get a pull-in effect. If I could show, let's see. Right, if I can go up, get this camera up close and personal here to this, you can see there at the top there where it's got a pull-in effect. That's because I've got a bit too close to it by mistake. Okay, so with metallic paints you don't want to get too close, you want to be nice and far away so you can get a nice smooth finish. And again, if we go to a different part that I've done, there, see, you've got a nice smooth finish. So just remember that, guys, don't be too close. Now, just going to spray it on. I think I might need to, yeah, I'm going to need to thin this down because it's too thick. It's supposed to be airbrush ready, these paints of Valio. Wouldn't believe it. So let's put just a little bit of thinner in there. Don't need a lot. Let's give it a quick stir. Okay, that should do it. Right. Yeah, that's better. Right. Oh yeah, that's spraying a lot better now. And again, just doing a very light coat dusting on first. So just let that dry for a minute, and I forgot to put my oh dear, what's it called? Airbrush thingy on. So just going to spray the air through the gun. So that will just help dry this part off. Now I'm going to spray it properly. Covering all the parts. There we go. And that's what the black metal looks like. Now if I compare it to the other colour there, before I do that, let me just quickly put some cleaner in here for a minute so it seeps through. Right. I get this part of the inner frame. And remember I said this was the supposedly gun metal, but it's just too light. And then compare the two, you can see if I can get it up close. Are you going to zoom in? Come on, focus. Right there. Come on. Right, it does want to focus in. Let me try something else here. Hang on. Right, let's see if we can do it now. See if it will. Well, it's still not trying. Get that. There you go. That's better. You can see the difference now, and it does look a lot better. So I'm going to put that to dry. I'm just going to put you on pause for a minute so I can clean out the rest of the airbrush, and we're going to go on to the gold. So it won't be a few minutes. Right, okay, so now I've cleaned my airbrush, we're going to start on the gold. So let's put a few drops in our airbrush. Now again, for airbrush ready paint, it's not very airbrush ready. So again, it's a bit too thick to go through, so I'm just going to thin it down a bit. About there should do. Let's pull this back, the camera back a bit. There we go. Let's mix this up. Let's see what it looks like. Yep, that's looking good. Right, so let's get one of our gold parts. Going to start with a smaller one, and again just a very light dusting. Because we don't want to oversaturate the part. Right, we let that light dusting sit and dry for a bit. Go to another part. And as you can see, I'm constantly moving the airbrush and the part. And we'll let that bit dry. Now here comes the biggest part. Again, just a light dusting to begin with. Don't go too heavy just too soon. And let's do the underneath as well. Yeah, there's that. Just a very light dusting, as you can see. Now, need to put some more paint in here. That around. around a bit. Okay. Right. Let's get our first part that we've done. Yeah. And I think, let's see if I can get a bit closer here. There it is. Now you can see I'm spraying quite far back because we don't want that pooling effect to come into play. And there's this piece. I think it might need another coat, but we'll let it dry for a minute and see what it looks like once it's dried. We can always go back to it. Now obviously I'm going to be painting all of these parts, but excuse me for, I apologise if my voice sounds really funny. I've got a really bad cough and chest thing is not a pretty sight. But I'm going to put a bit more gold in, a little bit more thinner. So the smaller parts actually look pretty good, so I don't need to do anything with that. But it's this bigger one, might need just a bit more. Now as I was saying, I'm gonna, for the painting process today, I'm not going to paint every single piece here. I'm just going to concentrate on this one arm unit and just paint that. Right, let's dry this up a bit with just the air. Okay. Right. There. Oh, that's better. Right. Let's get rid of some of this gold. Right. I'm just going to let that dry now, and I shall be back once I've cleaned up the airbrush ready for the metallic blue. So, won't be a minute. Alright guys, right, back again. With the arm part, there's only 2 blue pieces, which isn't bad, and so I'm definitely only going to need a little tiny bit of paint for the metallic blue. But I am again going to need just a couple of drops of thinners in here. I think that should be okay. Right, so first part of the blue. Just let that sit for a minute. It's getting like a really nice blue. Let that sit. I'm actually really liking this blue. Yeah, typical. Yeah. Okay. Right, so that's the blue done. Next we're going to go on to the white. Once these are dried, I'm going to show you them up close and personal so you can see what they look like. Now again, I'm going to just pause it again so I can clean out the... Actually no, I'll show you how I clean up my airbrush. Right now you've got just a little tiny bit of paint in there. I'm going to use a bit of tissue, just an old bit of tissue, and just wipe it around, get rid of most of the paint as possible. Then get my cleaner, give it a couple of squirts, use the brush that I mixed with, and really get into where the needle is, dig up all of that paint from the edges. Right, you can't really see it too well because my hand's in the way. Right, there. Don't spray it out of your gun yet, your airbrush yet. And just tip the excess away. Again with another spray. Do a bit of a backwash by holding the nozzle and pulling back with the needle. And again, tip it away. And I don't know if you can see, but inside there, that liquid is pretty much blue, which is the blue colour of this, which is what we want. When you get to that stage, you can then blow your airbrush through. Always use one of these, and just blow your airbrush through it to clean out any residue gunk that's in there. So I hope you couldn't see my noggin. Right, there we go. So that's how I clean the airbrush. Now you've probably noticed I'm using my base coating airbrush. That's because until I do the grey parts, that's all I really need. I don't need anything else. Now I'm using the white first before I do any of the grey, just because the grey is not going to be that much. There's not that much grey to do. Let's see how this sprays. And that sprays really, really well. Look at that, perfect. Right, so let's get one of these larger parts so we can see the effects. Now, remember what I said, always spray from a distance and do a light dusting first. That's what we want to do, just a light dusting. There you go, so that's one light dusting done. Let's get another part. So we just want a light dusting for now. I don't want to do the inside. There you go. Let's do like that. So now I should be able to come back to after this and give it another proper coat. There you go. Now you can see the pre-shade is only just showing through, which is what we want. We don't want it to be too in your face, but just enough to start coming through. Let's try this big part. Yeah. What do you think about that? You probably can't really see it too well in the light, so I'll show you again later. Yeah. Just do some more light dustings and that with a little bit of paint I've got left. Need to clean my needle a little bit. So I shall do that now. Okay. Get some thinner now. I've taken the top off the needle, and basically if it dries up, just get a cotton bud that's got a bit of thinner on and just wipe it off. As you can see, I don't know if we can get up close here. Come on, focus in. You can just see the build-up of crap that's on there. Just doing that will clean it off nicely. Put the cap back on because that's going to protect your needle. And let's continue. Pucker it. And we shall just continue with the rest of these parts. Now, oh, that's much better. Whoops, bit too much there. Now you don't want to oversaturate the parts, because if you do that, you're going to lose the effect. And you don't want to lose the effect of the pre-shade. Now I don't know if you've noticed, when I am airbrushing, I'm not pointing directly at the piece and then pressing the trigger down. I'm actually starting. I will show you another part. Hang on, let's go with this part. I'm actually, if you do this, you may get spots and bubbles and things you don't want there. Excuse me. So always start from the outside edge, away from the piece, press the trigger and then go over it. That way it's going to minimize any whoopsies. And whoopsies we don't want. Right, hi guys, we're just going to have a look at some of these parts, see what they look. They should have had time to dry now. So we're going to go with the large gold piece that we've done. Let's see if I can get this light a little bit better here, just so we can see. Now I'm going to zoom in the camera a little bit because it'll probably be easier for you guys to see it. Oh, the white balance is now gone. That's never good, is it? Alright, let's try bringing it back a bit more. There, that'll do. Right, so that's the gold piece. It's all nice and gold, but you can still see the pre-shading in it, and that's the effect that we wanted to get. It's very difficult, not very difficult, it is slightly difficult to get a good pre-shade with metallics, but it can be done, as this you can see. So we've got that part. What else are we gonna have? Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this piece here. Now you can see how the pre-shading has come out. Picked out the detail really nice, and when it's all put together it's going to look really good. Plus we've still got to panel line. Now there is some parts that are going to be painted a different colour, like the grey colour. So we're going to have to be masking off this part here, all of that part, because I want to keep these white, but I want to paint this part here. I want to paint that the grey, and this part here I want to paint grey as well to give it a two-tone colour scheme on that. And this part, so obviously going to go on the top. I want this part here, not this part, that one will stay the same, but just this part. So I'll be masking off all around here and that bit there, so I can just paint this part grey. But again, you can see the pre-shading come into effect. Now might lose, when I do the grey, you might lose some of the pre-shading. Shit happens. There's another piece, and the same again here. What I want to do is this part here I want to paint grey, and I think just this little part here I want to paint grey as well, because I don't want the colour accent to be too in your face. Okay, look at this part. This has come out really well. It will zoom in, there we go. I think that one's come out really well. And for this part I only want this to be the two-tone grey, and maybe these raised edges here as well. So those two raised edges and that bit I want going to be grey. The next video I'll talk about the what's the word I'm looking for? How to use the masking tape to get things ready. Let's have a look at this metallic blue. Now the metallic blue, I admit I've put it on a bit too heavy. You can just about barely see the pre-shade on it. But yeah, I put it a bit too heavily on there. There's the metallic blue again on this one, this part. Again, just a bit too heavy, so that's my fault. But I am liking this blue. This metallic blue looks really nice. I can't wait to see the rest of the blue parts done on it, because there's only a very small amount of blue parts here. Here we go, this part of the inner frame. Now just to show you, if I take this part off here. Whoops. Right, I'm not going to fully fit it on, but this will go on here like that, and so you're going to see those silver pieces coming through. Now I'm going to turn the back around. Now you can see why. You can see why I wanted to paint this part black, because that's going to be on show. I didn't want it white, but I wanted it black. It's just a shame they didn't continue this all the way down. It would have been a lot better. But that's what you get. So that's what that's pretty much going to look like with that on there. Okay. And what else did we do? Oh yeah, let's have a look at this. That's the inner frame. Now you could panel line the inner frame if you want to. I'm not going to on this kit just because you're not going to see it. Seriously, even though the detail's there, you can do it if you want to. I'm not. But it's entirely up to you. You can just panel wash. We're going to talk about panel lining anyway, and how to do that at a later date when we get to that part. But yeah, that's that bit. These, you can, yeah, well, obviously you can see what they are. They go on the end of the arm. But I wanted these to be different. I wanted these to be silver instead of just white. I didn't bother pre-shading or anything. I just painted them just white, and I think they've come out really well. So that's pretty much all the parts all done. And watch out for the next video, which will be talking about masking, so we can paint this extra shade of grey on there. So I'm going to let these dry for at least 24 hours before I do anything like that, because I don't want the paint to lift off. And look forward to seeing you on the next video. Alright, RLC321 saying goodbye. Take care, guys.